Hello and welcome to My Life in a Biscuit Tin. I'm Liz Mosley and we are here at Good Housekeeping to ask another brave and very brilliant woman the big question, which is in a life filled with stuff and clutter, what actually is worth keeping? And today our willing guest is the sports broadcasting legend, Kirsty Gallacher.
Hello,
Hi, Kirsty.
thank you. What a lovely intro.
Well, it's your pleasure.
Thank you so
we're
much.
Thrilled to have you here.
And look at this.
I know.
My favourites.
Can I say, we're going to go straight into biscuit chat. You've gone for a Garibaldi.
Oh, I love them.
Okay, talk to me about that.
I haven't got a very sweet tooth in general.
Because they are like a cardboard, really, more than a biscuit.
With a bit of raisin, it gives you a bit of sweetness. But I just love them, always have, because I didn't like biscuits. And I think my mum probably, I don't know, that she tried me with them because she knew I loved raisins and thought, come on, you must like some biscuits or, just a snack. I've never snacked. And these were produced one day and I was obsessed and always have been. There's always a packet
attempt to make a Garibaldi, or would you purchase one?
I would purchase, but to make them would be very interesting. I say interesting because it would be interesting and they would be like cardboard. But no, actually you can make them.
You can.
I think it might be a bit of a faff.
Yeah,
I think I'll just buy them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like the name Garibaldi.
How many Garibaldis would you consider a portion? Because they come joined together, you see, so you can self-assign.
Do you know what? That is hilarious because I've always thought, do I have two or can I break off? Because you break them off, don't you?
You have to snap,
It's a bit sort of, do I do 4 or 6?
Oh, quite a lot.
Well, no, I haven't. Listen, I haven't done that for a long time. I wouldn't dare. But
we're not mad.
I think that they are quite small.
They are small.
And quite healthy.
I think they are a health food. I totally agree. Okay, Kirsty, I'm going to go in for a Garibaldi. You're going to have one?
I was waiting for you to ask
you know
me.
What?
Oh, delicious.
It's actually nicer than I remember. There's a bit more to it than I remember.
I bet you, when you heard they're my favourites, like, she's boring, isn't she?
Well, do you know what?
Too healthy.
Some people pick really posh biscuits. One lady
do
once.
They?
Yeah. We had a guest on Biscuit Tin who picked some biscuits from Fortnum and Mason.
Did you have to go up?
The budget. Yeah.
Oh.
But a Garibaldi, what do you think about a fig roll, just while we're on it?
Oh, I love a fig roll.
Yeah, similar sort of vibe,
I like
think.
a fig roll.
Also a health food, I would say.
I find these healthy-ish, but also the simplicity of them is wonderful.
Do go well with a cup of tea, a Garibaldi, I would say.
That's just, I haven't got a sweet tooth, so for me, this is perfect.
Lovely. Everyone's home is different and wouldn't life be boring if they weren't? But whatever your thing is, when it comes to furniture, DFS is here to help you find it, celebrate it and bring it to life in every room. For me, it's my great big bed, but for you, it could be a bright and beautiful sofa, a snuggly boucle armchair or a statement storage ottoman. Find your thing in stores or at dfs.co.uk today. Excellent. Well, thanks for tuning in. That's the Garibaldi chat.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah. Love some to be sent. No, I'm joking.
We are going to get to talking about your brilliant things that you've picked out for your biscuit tin, but the first thing I'm going to do is show you something that popped up this very day on I can't remember where I came across it. And it's a photograph of you and your very dear friend Gabby.
Yes.
With whom you've just been on holiday.
Yes, to Catalonia.
Republished today on a website of a newspaper that shall remain nameless. And you are at the Elle Style Awards 2002.
Is that in the press today? Why are they?
And I'm showing you this picture for reasons of it's funny, but also I organised that party.
You're joking.
I am probably standing.
Can I just say sorry for the outfits then, Liz? Because we laugh so much at often pictures come back round. So she'll send me one, or birthdays. On Instagram on stories, you put something and go happy birthday. She hilariously made me a birthday card of this last year in January for my and I laughed. I was like howling.
Great. I mean, you both look fabulous. Tragic. Can I say? No, it's brilliant. You look great.
Tragic. That top that I was wearing was quite an investment piece at the time. What was it? Pucci or whatever.
Yes, nice.
Very expensive, and I thought,
sort of lime, fierce lime yellow,
as any,
Pucci silk number.
Yeah, it was quite a thing at the time. But when I now look at that, it scares the living daylights. The whole picture and the panda eyes and Gabby with her boots and we're both like, do you know what? We laugh at this stuff. We're not like, oh no.
Yeah, keep it hidden.
You've got to laugh, and all the phases and all the kind of funny moments, and that's life, right? It's not nostalgia.
It's brilliant to see, and also because you two have been pals in the public eye for all this time and still are.
25 years.
Yeah.
I've known Gabby. Bearing in mind, so I'm 49. I've known her. Yeah, well, actually, I've known her 28 years.
Gosh.
Can you believe?
Still a bestie.
Yes, still very, very firmly, and the family as well. We're very close. I'm intrigued about the article now. I wonder what they. I hope it was a goodie.
Do you know what? I
hope
think
it wasn't a bad
it was
article.
just saying Kirsty and Gabby Logan on holiday, looking marvellous.
Oh, was it?
And here's a picture of when they looked marvellous in the past. It
well,
was that
maybe not.
level of journalistic. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why did they publish it today?
I don't know. Anyway,
But the top, I haven't got any more. Suffice to say.
shame. It wasn't a keeper.
No.
Now we're going to do this fun thing where we've asked you to rummage through all your precious things in your house and pick the things that you would keep as sort of keepsakes.
Great.
Tin. Let's go. Let's dive in. What's
Come on.
first?
Well, I found it very difficult because even though I'm not a hoarder, I'm very tidy, and our house hasn't got much storage either. It's still difficult to choose, isn't it?
It is.
But
really
I
tough.
love this because it's quite interesting to see what you do go for. And
Are you quite emotional? You say your house hasn't got much storage. Is it a modern house you're living in, or
it is it's a barn conversion. So
Okay, yeah,
obviously
no
the
cupboards.
structure is very old.
Yeah.
No cut. It's like a shell.
Yes.
But I am quite good at chucking stuff out that is sort of clothes that don't mean a lot, or bits and bobs that are annoying and sort of tat. But I'm very I keep obviously things that mean something to me. But let's have a go and
on
see.
then.
Can I, in any particular order?
Any order
Come
that
on.
you feel.
Well, I'm going to start with this lot because the Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees.
Can you see
Look
that?
at them. They're gorgeous, men.
Aren't they fabulous?
Fabulous.
I love the Bee Gees. A. B. I've got a new record player and I'm obsessed. I love vinyls. I grew up sort of with a record player, and my grandparents had one. My parents had one. I think my first album, which I was desperately trying to find, was Shaka Khan.
Oh, quite cool.
Isn't she an amazing woman?
Quite cool.
Still very cool. And then obviously I thought it's quite apt that I full circle came back round to working in radio and music, and we play a lot of the Bee Gees on Gold Radio right now on Drive. So so there they are. They are in all their glory.
So you grew up listening to music. There was lots of music because you was a sporting house, obviously, but music too.
Both. I mean, there was lots going on. I mean,
Yeah.
we've always enjoyed lots of different things. So lots of sport, lots of music. The radio was always on. There was always music on. And I think, which is why, for me now, working in this industry and working on having my own radio show is a bit of a dream. It was always on the radio in the kitchen. I remember that.
Yeah.
Always in the car. And then the music is the music that I grew up to is the music that I play on Gold that I used to play on Smooth. It's that sort of, we play a bit of 60s, but it's 70s, 80s, 90s. And I think there's a real sort of appetite for that.
Do you get to
nostalgia
pick
now.
what you play?
It's a team effort.
Okay, so you create it together as a
Create
crew.
it together very much for my audience and what they would want to drive home to, or on their commute, or preparing
Sing
their
along with,
evening meal with,
chill out with, whatever.
Because it's a drive time show 4 till 7. So, and yes, we do have a lot of music that I like, and yes, we play a lot of Bee Gees, which is fabulous.
Live radio versus live telly.
Oh, both. I love live. If you were to say pre-recorded or live.
Really?
Always with both mediums. Yeah.
Do you not get the fear?
No, I think the fear's good. I think there are two types of TV presenters, and I think it's the same in radio. Although in radio, I think you've got to be able to do live. If you can't do live, I think you'll find it very tough.
Yes. It's a very personal medium, radio, isn't it? I feel very connected when you're...
you're talking to one person.
Yes.
It's one person. It's not a large
Hello,
group. You're not
everyone.
thinking, I'm out to the millions. You're thinking, I'm talking to one person. That is the way you do it. I think when you're live... there's funny things that go on, isn't it? With regards to the adrenaline, for example, does something to me, and it just works for me. And also the kind of back of your mind, that you can't do it again. It's gone.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
But some people don't like that, and there are presenters in TV I've worked with who are very pre-recorded. They don't like live. But I guess I started in live sports broadcasting.
That's how you cut your teeth.
as a journalist. Yeah, I mean that's it. So maybe that's why.
Can you remember your first time live on air?
Yes, I can.
Tell me.
Horrendous.
What were you presenting?
Petrifying. Sky Sports Sky Sports Centre.
Okay.
So, funny enough, I'd taken over from Gabby.
Right.
She went off to ITV, I believe, and I took over and I started on Sky Sport. It was called the Sports Centre.
Okay.
On Sky Sports 1, and it was with Matt Lorenzo, wonderful guy and anyway, I did that, and then I went on to do Sky Sports News, and it was just really scary live. I mean, rabbit in the headlights is probably all I can say.
Have you ever clammed up and just run dry?
No, luckily.
Just keep going.
Again, I think for me, it always seemed to, touch wood, work out. Something would, it was all right.
You've
Not perfect.
You've definitely got the energy for it. I can feel there's a sort of something
sweet.
Must come through the screen, because not everybody could do that.
I never thought that. I never wanted to be a presenter. I wanted to be a fashion journalist. And I went to London College of Fashion.
I was going to say, you studied fashion.
Yeah. Fashion journalism and promotion, and thought that's the route I would take. But I wanted to kind of do your job or write, be writing for a magazine or Vogue or something. I always I wanted, ideally I did art. I'm arty and quite creative, but I would love to have been a fashion designer, and I just thought, no, I think you need to be a bit more sort of sensible and just go for journalism. And I was good. English was, I love writing.
Yeah.
And no, I loved it, but I ended up taking a different path purely by coincidence, going to a dinner where my dad was being honoured by Sky Sports because he was Ryder Cup captain 3 times, but this one particular year it was a big win, and it had been live on Sky Sports, and they honoured him in this dinner, and one of the deputy heads of Sky Sports came over and just said, "Do you fancy doing a screen test?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. No, thank you." And I said no, but they wrote to me later on, I think 6 months later, and I was just like, you know what, I was sort of dawdling around a bit thinking, right, what am I doing? Am I going to go on to, I don't know, higher education, or was I going to try and get straight into the magazine world or whatever? And I just went in and I did a screen test, and then they offered me a job behind the scenes on the golf team, and I loved it, and I got the TV bug, but not to be a presenter, just behind editorial assistant. I worked my way up, and then when they were launching Sky Sports News and these sorts of things, and there was a bit of movement, they chucked me in the deep end with various other presenters, and I started presenting, and again I worked my way up there and was one of the first on Sky Sports News and Sky Digital. That's quite a big moment, and then I started my career and did various things.
It ever since.
Yes, I have.
You and Gabby both. I wonder, we were just chatting before we started recording, we were just briefly chatting about the Women's Euros and how amazing it was, and fantastic. We loved it. And it really feels like, certainly in football, and maybe in some other women's sports too, like we're really, because of the Women's Rugby World happening
at the moment,
now.
That's right.
And you are into rugby too.
I absolutely am, and I'm loving watching that. So are my children and my partner. We love it.
Best of luck to the Red Roses. They did commandingly quite well in their first match, as I recall.
They did.
It feels like in some elements of the sporting world, so much has changed for women, like really huge shift. But as somebody who's worked as a professional woman in a sporting world, okay, not being an athlete or whatever, and you and Gabby together, has it felt for you like there's been an evolution? Did you feel like a woman in a man's world?
Yeah, very much.
Did you?
Oh, horrendous. I felt like I was I was an intruder. I mean, there were a lot of traditionalists, and there was a lot of navigating very difficult moments, or you just actually just aware of it 20 years ago, we would Sky Sports were brave and brilliant, and I think they've done a lot for changing the landscape for women and women's sport. They've changed lots of things in sport, but especially in women's sport, and we never used to talk about women's sport in the beginning. It was just not, maybe a bit of women's golf, LPGA golf, which was out there, but we never talked about women playing football or rugby. It was just like, that's not
Did
not
you
a thing.
have to be tough?
Very tough. Very
Yourself?
tough. I think Gabby and I both had not just the traditionalists oh, women talk about football. How dare they? Well, But that we also had nepotism to defeat as well.
Because Gabby's dad was Terry.
That's
Yoris,
right. He's
who
Terry.
was the manager of Bradford City.
Yeah, well, he's done brilliantly.
Yeah.
Great footballing career and management career. And then my dad as golfer
Famous
and
golfer,
Ryder Cup captain. And so, I think there were lots of people who were like, hang on a minute, why are they only here for
these two?
their fathers and their upbringing? How dare they? And so I think we've had to work extra hard. And I think one thing I would always say is I think, and it's actually goes for anything and any job, leave no stone unturned, always do more work than you thought you might have to do, because you're going to have to.
You feel like you're compensating for that.
You've got to make sure that you're on it. And if you're not on it, they've got every right to say, oh, well, there we are. Told you so.
Yeah.
So I think it was quite hard work at times, Liz. Yeah.
Well, you're still here very much in full effect.
I moved slightly a different...
Yes. Slight handbrake turn.
I love it. That's why I always... just radio. I always wanted to do... I think as a broadcaster in general and a journalism, I think it's brilliant to try your hand at everything.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
And for me, it's brilliant. And I love changing things up.
And you get to go to work and play the Bee Gees. I
do.
mean, what can be more perfect?
They are.
Gorgeous men, specimens that they are. This episode of My Life in a Biscuit Tin is brought to you by DFS. Everyone has a thing, and whatever you're looking for in your home, DFS can help you find yours. And my thing this week is the outside broom. And when it comes to this time of year and the weather starts to become foul, you got to give your outside space a bit of attention, time to take care of your outdoor furniture, pack it away if you need to, cover it up, and give the place a good tidy up. I have a very small garden. It's more of a backyard really, with some sad looking pots, and it's almost entirely full of leaves fallen from the far superior gardens on either side. I don't have a leaf blower. I like to go old school and I sweep. In fact, there's something enormously pleasurable about sweeping up leaves outside in the crisp autumn air, provided it's not wet. So get yourself a sturdy outdoor broom and sort your garden out. If your thing this week is finding an amazing new piece for your home, DFS can help. From sofas and bed frames to sideboards and dining sets. Discover the new season collection now in store or at dfs.co.uk.
Exactly.
Let's dig again in your biscuit tin
bag. Shall I put that there?
Yes.
What should we go for now?
You pick.
I think we might go for this. Just be careful as I...
Oh, yes. Okay, so Precious Ladro, I think this is.
Ladro, yes. This little...
she's a ballerina?
Ballerina is very... precious and nostalgic for me because even though I'm not really into ornaments, to be honest, or objet, this was in my grandparents' house in Edinburgh, and I used to love it. I loved ballet. I was a very girly girl, still am probably quite, but I used to love her, and there's a little boy as well I've got, but I brought this little lady, and my grandparents obviously, and my grandparents' house has a very special place in my heart. My mum is an only child, and we spent a lot of good times and holidays at my grandparents in Edinburgh, and did wonderful things there.
What can you remember about your grandma and grandpa? What do they do? Do you remember?
My grandfather was a prisoner of war, a survivor. Wow. I mean, in Japan, and was a really quite hard character, but amazingly kind, but quite scary.
Yes, yeah.
And my grandmother was a seamstress in the war, and then they actually owned a little shop, a sort of local shop in Edinburgh with bits and bobs in it, kind of random. And I think they did other bits and bobs as well. I mean, I should probably know more, but that was their main roles. He was in the war, and then he was in the insurance business, I believe.
Okay.
And anyway, lived in Edinburgh, even though they were from the northeast.
Okay.
But my mum was born and brought up as I was born in Edinburgh. And wonderful, kind people. Proper grandparents.
Yeah.
That sort of cosy,
comforting.
Funny enough, you when you were excited to go there because you knew it was very cosy and comforting and very you felt safe and you did lovely things and you went to the cupboards and there was always something in the biscuit tin. Funny enough, always. And I didn't want there to be a biscuit in there. I wanted there to be a cake or a sort of this sort of thing. And
yes.
my grandmother used to make some sort of biscuity, cakey things, not dissimilar to the Garibaldi. So it was always quite lovely. And we'd go foraging, you know.
Yeah,
it was one of those
lovely.
houses where there were always interesting things in the cupboards and things going on. And it was just a really lovely childhood.
And if you really want to find a golf course, you've got to go to Scotland.
Of course.
I mean,
and there
that's
were plenty
where
of
the
those.
really good ones are, isn't it, up there?
And we spent a lot of our summer holidays and our holidays up there because in the summer we would often it was the Scottish Open golf tournament, or the Open was played in many, links courses up there. So
how did you play golf when you were a little girl?
Yeah. I don't really remember playing so much in Scotland, but I played it at home.
Yes, because you grew up on a golf course.
Wentworth, yeah.
Which is an amazing thing to
it
do.
is.
I mean, not literally, camping in the bunker kind of thing.
We lived on the course. Yeah, my dad was the pro there, professional for 25 years. So he was at the helm as well as being Ryder Cup captain, and he and playing on the European tour. But that was our base. So he when he was offered the job at Wentworth, we moved down from Edinburgh. Yeah. But both my brother and sister were born in the south.
Yes.
I was the only one born in Edinburgh. I only lived there for 18 months, but I was born there but we used to go back there all the time. And I love Scotland. I mean, what a place.
I want to ask you about your mum.
Yes.
Because married to a really successful, famous golfer in your dad, and living on it's sort of all very dad everywhere. Tell me what your mum's like.
Well, she's a very clever lady. So she's a dietitian.
Is she?
Well, so she was, as I said, brought up as an only child. Lovely sort of childhood.
Yeah.
In Edinburgh, and went to university, got her degree and was a dietitian.
Right.
And she was a practicing dietitian, worked with a doctor in the local private doctors in Virginia Water, and a mum of three, and used to balance her career. My dad was away most of the year.
Yeah, so she was a lot of just her and you.
Her with a bit of help, and my grandparents that I mentioned used to come and stay all the time because they didn't have any other children, and so they used to go up and down. So that was great, and it was they were very important in my family. Both sets of grandparents, but we used to see my maternal grandparents a lot. They'd come and help because she was on her own a lot, and 3 kids, juggling and working and everything. It was quite something.
And you're a healthy person. Does that come from your mum? Do you think you grew up knowing that food is sort of it's more than just something you shove in your mouth kind of thing? You've got that in from her.
Well, she used to say everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
Wise words.
Balance, and it was very much, fatty diets. No, don't do those. And very good cook, very balanced sort of meals, and very good outlook on food. Yeah. And we were very sporty, both my brother and I. My sister's not so sporty. She's more creative and arty, which I do love that bit of the creative side. But my brother and I are very sporty. My brother's an amateur golfer, a very good golfer. But
are you a good cook?
Oh, do you know what? I can cook.
Okay.
If I put my mind to it, Liz,
right.
I'm reasonably good. I just can't be bothered. I don't have the patience for it. Do you know what? I quite like the process if you've got time.
Yes.
And maybe have a little glass of wine on the go while you enjoy the process. But I'm not. The kind of functional cooking is more what I seem to do, and I don't get home till quite late now.
You've got great big boys in your house that need to be fed all the time, every day, endlessly.
One of them's eating more than ever at the moment. I don't know what's going on with Jude.
They do go in fits and starts, don't they?
Yeah,
mine is just the same.
Yes, double meals.
Suddenly ravenous, and then much more normal suddenly.
Well, I've got a foodie in Jude who's eating ravenously at the moment, 15-year-old, and then my 18-year-old is not a foodie, doesn't care. It's just fuel.
Oh.
It's like,
isn't it funny how
so
they
he
just
doesn't care what
different.
I cook and really is not bothered about food. And then the other one is much more into food. He's not really, I say he's a foodie. I mean, he's a bit more fussy than the other one. And he is eating, I mean, he's shooting up at the moment, so I think he's on a growth spurt. But I mean, I think, listen, we're I just get so as any parent, you do get fed up of cooking.
Yeah.
It's quite
the
boring.
effort of the ideas as much
So
as
boring.
anything.
It's
It's
the
what we're going to
ideas.
do again. Oh, it's a chicken
I said it the
wrap.
other day. We were in a supermarket to Oscar. He was there, and I said, "Please, you're coming with me." He wanted to drive as well. He's just about to take his test, so he came with me, and I was like, "You also need to be here because I'm fed up of buying things that don't get eaten. I hate waste.
Yeah,
so
same.
it's like you can come with me, show me what you want to buy, think about food." Preparation, planning it. Let's get you, thinking about that stuff. So anyway, but I said to him, I said, I am so bored of food.
Will your big one go away to college or something?
They both want to go to university in America.
Oh gosh,
I know.
How do you feel about that?
So he's on a gap year. He's just left school.
Okay.
As I said, an A levels, and he wants to take a gap year. He's got some work. He's working at the moment, which is great. And
will he be sad?
Well, they both want to go and leave their mother. I mean, how dare they?
So rude.
Well, the thing is, he wants to do... My brother went to university in America and did business and golf.
Oh, okay.
Because, I said he's a very good golfer, my brother. He could have been a pro, but he decided to go into business in the end, my brother. But he's a brilliant amateur golfer. But Oscar wants to go and do business and play rugby.
Okay.
So we're looking at a rugby sort of scholarship, and then my other son wants to be a professional golfer, like his brother, like his cousin, my cousin Stephen in Scotland, his uncle, my brother, and my dad, his grandfather.
I mean,
and he wants to go and do a degree over there.
It's a nice life, isn't it, being a professional golfer?
It's hard.
Is it?
It's nice if it works for you and you're successful. It's hard.
Because they're always travelling.
No, but it's not that. No, you need the money and you need the sponsorship. And if you're not making cuts every week, you can't. It's like a bit of a
making cuts
chicken
as
and egg.
in the competitions. You have to do so well to get through to the next bit.
Well, it's 4 days.
Yes.
And if you don't make the 4 days, you don't get paid.
Oh, really?
No, you don't make the cut, you don't get paid. And then you obviously have to attract brands and sponsors and individuals who are going to back you. And it's very hard. I've watched lots of friends who've not made it. People that have kept trying to make it and then give up. I've seen people who've had a bit of luck and then sort of nosedived.
As a parent, then knowing
it's hard.
That's what he really wants to do. Do you worry? I mean, I guess you have to say yes, go for
obviously,
it. Darling.
I'm all about you manifest and you put all your energy and be positive, but you also have to
have the talent.
Sort of quite sensible about it and have the talent and have someone going, maybe you're not good enough. So really you have to, we'll see how it goes, but they academically have to also keep their mind on, you must, I don't think you have to get a degree. I don't care what anyone says. I don't have a degree. I went to London College of Fashion. I think, my life was slightly different. I took a different turn, and that could be that's what many people do. I think it's much more difficult nowadays to get through the door without possibly a degree. I don't know.
It's rich. No, it's really hard to say. You just look at the...
It depends what you want to do, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the cost of it and everything else. There's a lot to weigh up. I think it's tough. So you mentioned manifesting, and I really want to have a look at that pink card in the bag.
Well, that's...
Go on, let's show me the pink card.
So this is... So this is my third item, and it is a meditation card.
So it looks like a little playing card.
It does.
Bright pink.
I haven't brought my glasses, and I think I might get you to read it.
Okay.
But the story of this is I am very much, and I think as you get older, you do become more, I don't know, spiritual, possibly,
or thoughtful, reflective, maybe.
Reflective. Think about life, and certainly age. Is something to do with that, I think, especially as a parent and seeing things go on in the world and maybe losing people, or
you can't help but feel the passage of time a bit more.
Life's journey, I think, is interesting, and I think I've always naturally meditated. I've always quite gone into a sort of. I was told that I'm quite a natural meditator, which is great. And I do need to meditate, and I need to take time out because I do find life quite noisy sometimes. I think also the media industry, I think maybe being on live radio or TV. And anyway, the story of this is that I've always also suffered a bit from anxiety.
Okay.
And I was having a facial with Gabby. We were having a facial with this amazing woman, and I think Gabby bought me a facial with this incredible. Oh, you'll love this, because she also does this sort of. She's quite spiritual and does this sort of stuff and around your neck and a bit of Reiki, and she did this great sort of this. I'm talking like early 20s, so we're talking over 20 years ago.
Wow!
So it's battered.
Been around a long time.
So I battered this little thing, and it's actually always with me or in my bedside table or wherever near me, and it says letting go. And this lady did this facial thing and was a bit spiritual and said this, and then she said, I want to give you something, because I feel like you are quite anxious. You hold a lot in your body, and I think I was a new presenter and I had quite a lot going on, and I think she could feel the burden of sort of what I was maybe, it's not easy in your early 20s.
No, it's tough.
Or any time. And she gave me this card, and it is a meditation card, Yud La Med. And I'm going to let you just read that, Liz, because I haven't got my glasses.
I am no longer a prisoner of my past. Past regrets, earlier traumas, pain and suffering. I believe in miracles and a joy-filled future. I gained the courage to let go, ! I let go of everything. Period.
So I think basically what she was saying is she felt me holding a lot of anxiety, and I think we all do. We can all say this. I think this could help many people, and it was funny how she handed it to me, and I've always, at moments where I'm like anxious or thinking about, did I do a good job, or did I, or worrying about things, or you worry about, did I make the right decision, or worrying about the past, or worrying about, I don't know, something. I think it's quite interesting to produce this and go, okay, just let's just have a moment, and be reflective.
Anxiety is something I'm very familiar with.
Oh,
have you found
really?
A way to... This obviously helps you to notice and manage.
This has become more a nostalgic kind of little token that I keep with me.
But you have to work with it, I've found. I can't make it go away.
Do you feel that I think the word I use is I get overwhelmed by life and what I need to do and what I've not done and what I need to be doing. I think that's being a busy single working mum, a parent of two, whatever age they are, but teenagers right now, I think that's every different age produces a different journey as a parent,
phase,
doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
You go through all these. I mean, I now, my partner has an 8-year-old. Well, he's going through that, and I'm in that now with him. But equally, we're also in the teenage journey on that journey.
I just
now.
remember thinking that the potty training phase would never ever end.
And were you ever going to crack it?
And was it?
Ever. I mean,
and then now here we are with screen time battles and all the other things that you've got.
Yeah. I think that life it's about managing, isn't it? And anxiety has never been my friend, really. I've always had it a little bit. I'm a bit of a want to make sure people are happy. I'm a bit of a people pleaser, but in an authentic way. I don't mean that like.
No, I know what you
don't
mean.
like confrontation. I don't like upsetting anybody. I like people to be happy. Have I done a good job? I'm a perfectionist. Like I said, everything has to be in order. I'm a little bit, I hate that term OCD. I'm not OCD. I don't want to. I think it's a very negative kind of way to sort of label anybody or myself. But I think I'm a perfectionist. My dad is, and he's done very well in his career using that. And I think some ways I look at my career and think, and my business and think, it's good that I am a perfectionist. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have done as well, or maybe I wouldn't be on this path, or maybe I wouldn't be going in that direction. So it depends what you want and how. I think you've got to work with what you've got and what you are. I do need to keep my anxiety at bay. And when I get my overwhelmed feeling, which my family know very well, my kids and my partner knows, he always says to me, you need a break every 3 months.
Yes.
Every 3 months.
Proper switch off.
A proper switch off, like 3 days, like a long weekend or an actual go away and come back, like a recharge your batteries. He said you get into that. He said I've watched it for 2 years and that's your kind of thing. And you also keeping my exercise going and looking after myself. I think I look after everybody else and I don't really think about myself.
Common.
Is this
tale as
similar?
old as time, Kirsty? I've
I know.
heard this before in the biscuit tin sofa.
I know, absolutely. So no, it's being mindful. Right, we've got 2 more products.
Yes.
Products?
We've
got 2 more items. Here we go.
Put that there by the Garibaldi's.
Okay, we have this little
he's rather smart.
fellow.
A little silver bulldog.
Paperweight.
Paperweight.
Yes, it's really random. I mean, he's quite heavy.
Let's
quite,
have a
quite
feel
heavy.
of him.
Yes.
Oh yes,
he's sweet, isn't he?
Yes, he's got quite a nice face. He does look grumpy, but not in a nasty way. Looks in a sort of friendly grump kind of way.
I've had him for so long, since I can't remember.
Where did he come from?
I can't remember.
Oh gosh.
Someone bought him for me.
He says something on his bum. Leonardo, he says on his bum.
I don't know what that's about, but no. I've always had bulldogs, rescued, and you know my obsession with animals.
Yeah. Animal rights particularly.
Yeah, I'm a big animal campaigner, welfare rights, whatever you want to say, flying the flag for animals in every capacity now, and that's part of what I do as my vocation, really, as well as being a mum and a working woman. Because I just feel I've got a platform to do that, and I don't know who else. There aren't many doing it.
Where does he live in your house?
He lives on a shelf, so I don't actually weight paper down with him. But he's there in all his glory. And I lost my beloved Betsy. Well, I've had 3 bulldogs in my life, and I lost my beloved Betsy, who was a rescue. We lost her nearly 2 years ago, and it was just, I still am grief-stricken, actually, about all my animals that have passed. But she was a very special lady, and she would look very like him. But I don't know, I just picked this up and thought, quite nice to talk about, because I've had him so long, this fellow, and animals are my all, and I have a French bulldog at the moment and a rescue cocker spaniel, show cocker spaniel, and they're so important to us,
What's a show cocker spaniel?
He's a cocker spaniel show. He's not a working cocker spaniel.
Oh, I see.
So they just are slightly different.
Okay.
He's just a bit more kind of...
Just a bit more chill.
More chilled.
Yeah.
He's not a working dog.
What are your dog's names?
He's called Frank, who I rescued him from Battersea a couple of years ago. And then I've got Bertie, the Frenchie. And we did have Betsy, who looked very like this fellow. So, no, I thought he was quite apt to bring along and talk about my animal love and my pets and my animal welfare.
Why do you think that's such a big part of... Where did it come from? Did you have dogs
growing up? My childhood. Grew up with all sorts of animals.
Oh, did you? Oh, well, you allowed a dog on a golf course?
We had dogs, my family are very animal loving. Yes. We were just off. We had a garden and we.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean you can walk dogs on golf courses.
You
just need to be careful of the flying golf balls.
Yes, true.
And golfers as well. But no, we grew up with all sorts of animals we had a very outdoorsy kind of life and doing a lot of sport. And I had my beloved rabbit Benji, and had hamsters and fish and hens and all sorts. And actually we're about to rescue some chickens. I'm all about rescuing now, because all rescue homes are absolutely full to the,
the COVID dog things you've talked about before.
Tragic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so tragic. The rescue homes of not just dog homes and cats, but all sorts of rescues are absolutely, full to the rafters, because people don't have time for animals now, and people don't really get it a lot of the time. And also COVID, people thought, oh, that's a great idea, let's get a dog. Oh, now we don't have time. The world's open. Dogs don't get on with our kids. I mean, it gets me so upset, if I'm honest, and the stories I hear. And so I'm doing a lot of work with a lot of those charities, and so we must always rescue and adopt.
What needs to change?
Education.
Okay.
People need to be educated about animals,
to understand what they're taking on.
But it goes the same as for buying meat. Until until we understand, I want there to be more education in schools about. And I feel like there's a real disconnect, especially for kids that don't really come across animals. City kids and in inner city kids. There was some horrendous stat or survey done the other day, and I think it was a survey where inner city, and kids that dwell in cities in this country, I think mainly, they couldn't remember the last time they saw an animal or a farm animal, and they didn't know the connection really between what they were buying off the shelf and eating in those
it just
shops
arrives in the freezer, and it doesn't have anything
magic.
before that. Yes,
and
I
so,
can see that.
You know, unfortunately, there's a disconnect, and I think we need to educate. And I would love there to be an educational program where kids understood that actually animals are sentient creatures. They've got feelings, and maybe they can make their own. I'm not saying don't eat meat. Because also I'm not against that, but farming needs to be done correctly, as does the way we kill animals, as does the way we treat animals. No one wants to eat battery farms or eat battery chickens, do they?
No.
Or their eggs. It's just inhumane.
Yeah, of course.
So if things are done correctly, there won't be pardon the pun, appetite for not doing it correctly. You know, the factory farming is horrendous.
It starts with
what
understanding.
Goes on? It's understanding and education.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sentient creatures, just like that dog in the corner of the room, so does an animal, you know, a pig or a
horse or whatever it might be.
I just think we could be doing more, and I think we should be leaders in England. I think the UK can be leaders on animal welfare, and we really are. We're not, unfortunately.
No.
And you know, without getting too deep, there's a lot that we have. You know, the government can do more.
Yes.
And we should be doing more. And that is it. And I really love now using my voice for getting involved with animal welfare campaigns, because someone needs to do it. And I want to be
it's the
one
thing
of those
that really
people.
moves you, obviously. It's something that really matters.
It's great for my family. My kids have such a passion for. I think it's really good for people to have a kindness for creatures as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a child that loves an animal or a creature, or is brought up with looking after and nurturing, you know that child is going to have a pretty good head on their shoulders. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure your dogs must be good for your anxiety as well. Have a little cuddle.
Animals in general, living in the countryside is bliss. I mean, I obviously travel to do my job, and I go in and out of town and travel, and I always go back to my safe sort of haven, I say, in the countryside. I woke up to a beautiful sunrise this morning with they're not my ponies, ponies in the fields nearby, and I was just like, that's just
what a treat.
What a lovely treat. And
really
again,
nice.
sheep, and we're surrounded by animals and owls at night and various other things. So I love it. That's the way I enjoy that part of life.
Right, last
final
one.
item.
What's in that? It looks like it's sort of Game of Thrones coming out of here.
Hilarious. But actually, I've left the best one for last. And this
so we've got a large and what's it made of, stone or something?
It's
this
sort of,
photo frame.
Do you know what? I don't know what it is, but I love the frame.
A beautiful,
it's quite
big,
chunky,
heavy frame with these
with my two beloved
cherubs in them.
Cherubs. My boys, Oscar and Jude.
And they must be, what, they're 2 and 4 or
something. I think Oscar was probably, I think we're looking at sort of 2 and 4. Jude is obviously the younger one, and then Oscar. So he's now 15 and he's 18. How frightening.
Shock of white hair there.
Oscar's still blonde, bizarre. And this little one is darker.
And they're in a tree by the looks of things.
Yeah, do you know what? It was my favourite. It was just the best moment ever. Completely natural. They went and were hiding in a tree in Windsor Great Park, where we where we still live, and they were brought up around that area, and we used to go for lovely walks to Savile Garden and Windsor Great Park, and really gorgeous, and that was part of our life. And I found them in a tree, and it was completely natural. I mean, this is old. I mean, this is how many years old is this? 15 years old or whatever? Not quite, but 14. Well, it was about going on to 14 years old. This photo, and it was just a really lovely moment, and it's really natural. And they just sort of, and I caught them, and it's in my bedroom. It's so precious, this picture, and this is a memory, and it's just. I just love it. It's that Jude's little face, kind of, it makes me emotional. Really emotional, actually. I don't know, as a parent, I think you have photos that you look at and it gets you, right?
Those, absolutely, because you can sort of... I miss my little children from when they were little somehow, and you sort of want to be able to go back and visit them in that time again and just hang out, and
I think it's a lovely thing to say.
Lovely.
I think it's a lovely... we've just spent time with my partner's family, and he's got nephews who are at the moment the same age, and I got a bit emotional because I was like, obviously, also I was like, oh,
Yes, never again.
You can have them back now.
Yes, absolutely.
I sound like a grandparent, you know, when they go,
to visit
great,
them.
but you can.
I definitely don't want to do it again.
We both went, oh gosh, that's tiring. But I think that it also made me quite emotional because they are boys, you know, and they're the same age at the moment as my two in this picture.
Yes.
And literally just spent the long weekend with them. And there were moments where I did have a tear at one point. No one saw me, don't worry, I had sunglasses on. And I was just like, because now I've got adults almost.
Yeah.
I've got one adult and I've got another almost
and
adult.
You're so proud of them, aren't you? My big kids. I love my big kids. They're just brilliant.
You know the feeling though, right?
Totally.
Weird.
No. I think part of my emotion about it when I see photos of, and you know, because your phone doesn't help you at all, it fires up old photos without warning, and then suddenly you're
especially
a mess.
a moment that is not appropriate
absolutely.
On the train or wherever.
I sort of feel like I'd like to visit the version of me that was a parent to young children.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like you carry it every day as a parent, every day as a day. You carry it with you. It's like it's baked into the cake of you. And there they are, these whole giant people with all of their weirdnesses and idiosyncrasies. I've got a pair of raging nerds, both of mine.
Are they?
Yes. And brilliant and hilarious, both of them. But where do they come from? It's so fascinating. So I absolutely understand why you look at those two little cherubs in a tree and think, where have you guys gone?
It's just brilliant, and it's all about the adventure and the exploring and the mischief and all of those things.
And the men that they are now.
And then,
hidden in those little boys.
And their little puffers matching. Quite funny as well, because I've sort of... they're wearing matching clothes, and I used to do that. I used to match them.
Did you?
And they're 3 years apart. Isn't that awful?
Kirsty.
Evil. Is that evil?
What were you thinking?
I thought it was great because they didn't look identical. So I was like, that's all right. They look quite different, but I used to find the same thing.
Every day you would match them?
Not every day.
Just on special
I had a
occasions
good go
as a treat.
at it, Liz. I had a good go. I used to, there was a shop that, oh God, it's not around now, Pop or whatever it was, and it was like a Scandinavian brand, and they did I do like a stripe, and they were often seen in stripes.
Yes.
I'd find one colour for one and one in another. So
yes, okay, that's okay.
Is that a bit twee?
A colour variant, I think, is fine.
I did. Okay, there we are.
I think matching, that we always say, you know, it's a no judgment environment in good housekeeping, but there is a bit of judgment for that.
Really?
Yeah, a little
Even
bit.
though they're different ages and had different hair colour.
I think that might
I thought I got
worse.
away with it.
I think that might
I get
make
it
it
for like
worse.
twins. That's not fair because it's like, no, they're individuals. And all that, and that's not fair to do. But I thought, well, I surely get away with this. No, none of my family said there was anything wrong with it. They were like, yeah, whatever. But I think
they
the boys
seem to have emerged unscathed.
They're unscathed for sure.
Good,
and
good.
actually now they share clothes.
Oh, so it's all come full circle.
So it's all
in many
full
ways.
circle. Yeah, where's that? Have you got one of those? I can. Oh no! And actually, Oscar gives all his hand-me-downs to his brother, so it's very cute. Yes.
Kirsty, it has been a
I
total
love
joy
speaking
chatting
to you,
to you,
Liz.
and I've loved exploring all your little funny things that
I
you've
know.
brought, and I've got such a great sense of who
Thank
you are
you.
and your brilliant family.
Thank
and
you.
you're going to
You're
have
so
to go because
kind.
you're on the radio in a minute.
I'm on the radio.
we
I'm so
can't
sorry.
Chat on
How
forever.
I would have loved to have sat here for longer with the Garibaldi's and a cup of
Exactly.
tea. I would, and all our bits and bobs.
Thanks so much
just
for
to chat.
bringing in for your biscuit tin.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, Kirsty. Maybe it's a sofa that gives you that heavenly sinking in feeling. Maybe it's an extendable dining table for everyone to crowd around and catch up. Or maybe it's a sideboard to hide all of that clutter that's been driving you crazy. Whatever your home has been missing, you can find it at DFS. With thousands of stylish pieces to discover, find your thing today in stores or at dfs.co.uk.